All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving headfirst into the opening chapters of Stephen King's absolute nightmare of a novel, Pet Sematary. We're going to really unpack how he so masterfully builds this incredible world of dread right from page 1.
So right off the bat, before we even get to chapter 1, King hits us with this quote from the Bible. And this, right here, is the whole game. It's not just a fancy quote. It's the central, chilling theme laid bare, that razor-thin line between death and life, and the absolutely terrifying idea that maybe, just maybe, you can cross back over. And where does this terrifying story start? Well, it starts somewhere that feels completely normal. It's a classic setup, one most of us can relate to. The Creed family, packing up their lives for a fresh start. It's supposed to be this hopeful new beginning for them in rural Maine. But then there's that path. And the simple question, where does it lead? That's the hook. That's what yanks us out of this ordinary, relatable moving day and drops us right into the deeply ominous world of Ludlow, Maine. So let's back up and start right with their chaotic arrival.
Okay, Section 1, a stressful new home. And believe me, stressful is putting it mildly. Before they can even think about hope, they're hit with pure chaos. Their arrival is just a perfect storm of a family meltdown.
You know that fantasy you have when you're planning a big move? Peaceful, idyllic, a new beginning. Yeah, that's not what happens here. The reality is a screaming, teething baby, lost keys, a restless cat, and frayed nerves. It's so relatable it hurts. Everyone is completely on edge, and the stress gets so bad that Louis, the dad, literally has this flash of just ditching them all and driving to Disney World. That's how bad it is.
So, let's put some names to the faces in this chaos. We've got Louis, the doctor, starting a new university job. There's his wife, Rachel, who's already super anxious about the move, and their kids, Ellie, who's 5 and full of questions, and little Gage, the toddler. And, of course, Church, Ellie's beloved cat. Just a normal, everyday family, right? Well, they are about to find themselves in a situation that is anything but typical, and they have no idea what's coming.
And just when you think things can't possibly get any more stressful, little Gage gets stung by a bee. It's the final straw. What should be a minor thing just explodes into full-blown panic right there in the front yard. This is such a key moment because it shows us the family at their absolute breaking point, totally overwhelmed and vulnerable.
Next up, the neighbor and the path. And right at that moment of pure chaos, a figure emerges, a calm presence, who turns out to be their new neighbor. And, as we'll see, the key to absolutely everything that's about to happen.
Now this is really interesting. Watch how this guy, Judd Crandall, an 83-year-old local, just slides right in. He shows up at the exact moment of crisis, offers calm, expert advice, physically helps them out, and then seals the deal with an offer of a cold beer. It's like a masterclass in earning trust. He almost instantly becomes this reliable, fatherly figure to Louis.
And then he drops this. It sounds like just a friendly, neighborly warning, right? Watch the kids on the road. But this is our first huge piece of foreshadowing. That highway isn't just a road. It's a character in this story. It's a constant, menacing presence that's going to hang over everything.
So while the adults are all looking one way, worried about the very real, very loud danger of the road, little Ellie is looking the other way. Her kid-like curiosity spots something else entirely. A well-worn path leading away from the house and deep into the woods. A different kind of mystery. Okay, which brings us to A Place for the Dead. It's not long before Judd decides to lead the whole family down that very path to show them one of Ludlow's stranger secrets.
Now listen to this warning from Judd. On one level, it's just practical advice, right? Don't let your kid wander off in the massive Maine woods. But you can feel the deeper meaning here, can't you? It's symbolic. It's about not straying from what's known, what's natural. So they follow the path, and it opens up into this clearing. And there it is, a crude, hand-painted sign with the words misspelled in a way that only a kid could write. Pet Sematary. This place was made and is maintained by children. And this isn't some new thing. You look at the makeshift headstones, and you see a history written by generations of kids. We're talking graves going back to the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, all the way back to 1914, where Judd points out the grave of his own childhood dog, Spot. This is a town ritual. So what's the big deal with this place? Why does it matter so much? Well, it's not just some weird, quirky landmark.
Think about it. It's a direct result of that dangerous highway. It's a place that children created for themselves to process death and grief because the road keeps taking their pets away. It's basically a classroom for loss.
All right, our next section, confronting the inevitable. Because this little walk in the woods forces a conversation that Louis and Rachel are just not ready to have, and it immediately exposes this huge crack in their relationship, how they each see death itself.
For little Ellie, this is the moment the world breaks. Her reaction is just pure, raw childhood grief. He's my cat. It's that innocent, desperate refusal to accept that things end. It's the first time she's ever had to confront the idea that her beloved church won't live forever, and it just shatters her.
But Rachel, her reaction is something else entirely. It's not sadness, it's fury. A deep, visceral rage at the very idea of death. She sees it as unnatural, a horror. And we get the first hint that this isn't just a philosophical stance, it's tied to some deep, dark trauma from her past involving her sister Zelda. So you've got this fundamental conflict right at the heart of the family. On one side you have Louis, the doctor. For him, death is clinical, it's natural, it's something you should talk about. He sees the cemetery as healthy. On the other side is Rachel. For her, death is a grotesque horror, something you must never, ever speak of. She sees the cemetery as morbid and wrong, and this massive divide between them, it's going to have catastrophic consequences. And just like that, the story pivots. We go from this heavy, philosophical family debate straight into pure, visceral horror. This is a terrible omen. Picture this. It's Louis's first day at his cushy new university job. He's expecting scraped knees and the flu. Then the phone rings. It's a frantic call for help, an emergency. The kind of real, bloody crises he thought he'd left behind in the ERs of Chicago.
They bring in a student, Victor Pasquale. He's been in a terrible accident, and his head injury it's just impossible. It's a fatal wound, the kind no one survives. His brain is literally exposed, and yet, somehow, impossibly, he's still alive. He's clinging to life in a way that just defies all medical science. It's an absolutely horrific, unnatural sight.
So let's take stock of where we are. We have a dangerous road that kills. We have a family that is fundamentally broken on the subject of death. We have a mysterious cemetery with a long, strange history. And now, we have a horrific, unnatural death that seems to serve as a direct personal warning to Louis. All the pieces are on the board. And believe me, this is only the beginning. What secrets are really buried in this town, and what's the true price for digging them up?